You're trying to distract yourself, huh? Keep yourself focused. You pick up projects, scroll to occupy yourself, whether it is electronics or just another point of attention. You fulfill your perceived need of distraction, the intense urge and craving to focus. Somewhere, anywhere. What we witness in this unique case study would be the specific feelings which occur without said distraction. These subtle and sometimes intense feelings of distress. You notice the feelings of unsafety starting to creep up. More often than not, people in this loop do not understand why they begin to feel discomforted, instead pushing it off, suppressing the already buried monster under the bed, focusing on their phone, a show, or a game. You can watch as they make a subconscious refusal to face the fears and uncomfortability, one which leads to the complete loop of suppression and denial. One done by the focus taken away from the problem they are facing and putting a band-aid solution over it. They choose to focus on one or few things that they know will create safety, that they feel in control of. They think that they are just creating peace in their nervous system, doing something which will make them happy or soothed, not realizing they amplify what is pushed down, and it is like a spring that once you stop pushing, it will slam back into your face with intense force. You see, what is actually occurring is the focus fulfills your need for distraction. Distraction from the feeling state of not being safe and not being in harmony. This directly resulting from one's inability to take accountability and responsibility for what state they are in. On top of this, they have unconsciously realized a few major points. One, to be alone with themselves and thoughts is unsafe. It is scary and unwanted to be alone with their own thoughts and beliefs. This is from occurrence of the direct mental focus lasered on destructive, unsafe ideas, thoughts, and mindsets which invoke cortisol. With the body stressed and in high alert, it copes through distractions that it has deemed as safe. The mind identified a problem and solutionized. Problem, you are creating unsafe mental circumstances for yourself. Mind thinks, now stressed. Solution, lose attention and focus privileges. It revokes free thought, time to think, and or mental space. What we see is the symptom of feeling of unsafety when being alone. Extreme and heightened paranoia, more than your normal and usual anxiety. This can show up as not feeling comfortable traveling around places you normally feel safe at, such as your home, room, neighborhood, or other establishment you are familiar in. Or simply sitting alone in your own thoughts, creating extreme discomfort. This specifically will be falsely soothed by bringing in a distraction, something to focus on, such as an electronic device to look at, scroll, or watch on as you go and do your thing. Whether it is scrolling, binging shows or movies, or focusing on a game, we all have many options to indulge in, including ones on the complete opposite hand than electronics, such as a book, conversation, or problem to envelop your mind in and concentrate on. What we are seeing is in the moment of freedom in your thoughts, your mind instantly starts to entertain subconscious and then conscious ideas of threats. This can be seen as feelings of looming anxiety, distress, or worry, a subtle but more often than not unknown looping sensation in the nervous system. This suppressed emotion or emotions stay low-key in the processing cortex. Since they are usually caused by a continued stressor, the nervous system begins to numb out that flag as less important as time goes on. And although this information is not flagged and popping out anymore, it is still there. And unfortunately, the more things start to fade out, the harder it can be to identify where and what they are from. So from this long-term stressor, the nervous system has continued to send a loop of information that there is a threat to the body. This loop will continue, like you are experiencing the original threat until it is processed and dealt with. So if you had a worry or thought pattern that you've been dealing with, this is the perfect imprint to laser into your nervous system. Locking and coding its information of a threat detected, the stressor flags the body over and over and over again while you're sat there confused for months, if not years, why your body feels so tense and like you're getting anxious for no reason. This subtle and unconscious, subconscious energy starts out less impactful at first, with not much energy, as the amplification is not too strong. The only thing the nervous system is familiar with is that suppressed memory, or time which triggers the original stress. Though through the loops, we watch as it builds more energy of suppression and threats. As by us suppressing the original threat, it's not handled. And the more that threat exists, the more our body is getting destroyed in its own stress chemicals, cortisol. Now, with the increased amplification, you may have symptoms of whatever thoughts or ideas which would invoke the same emotional and thought reactions. Say you have an abuse wound. You'll experience those feelings of helplessness. This may look like being faced with thoughts and assumptions of an attacker, an antagonist, or a dominating character. If you were someone who felt violated and out of control, and you have a wound specifically there, you may imagine someone watching you, a predatorial essence, or just general unsafety, perhaps from constant stresses of what is shown on news or close people creating ideas of someone coming from you. Well, you could have ideas that they're ready to attack or planning. And in many unique ways, these feelings of a threat can show, such as just fear or anxiety, whether it's impending doom or ideas that something of an accident or unforeseen circumstances are going to happen. We're watching the nervous system loop, just with different characters, different circumstances, and different places. And if you don't have identified trauma, you're not out of the boat either. You can experience this from simple exposure to constant normals. You simply need to check off 3 things to count for the group I am addressing today. 1, you have subtle or prominent feelings and or thoughts of threats. This leading to unexplainable or unknown stress, anxiety, worry, fear, or any other discomfort. This may include visual thoughts and ideas which affirm or identify with said fearful encounters. 2, these happen unconsciously. Just like our breathing, they slip into your mind and suddenly your leg gets caught into the rope and you're sucked along with it. You go from fine to getting dragged in the dirt. And 3, you know these moments of being alone with self creates an unsafe feeling, at least at some unconscious or conscious level. Unlike the case of your own mind, you use distractions again and again, consciously or subconsciously, to create a peaceful space, a focus you are safe perceiving and feel comfortable giving your attention to. You are looking at an untrained mind, one which is using its focus and attention to entertain thoughts of destruction, unwanted circumstances, and threats. That, when given the chance to freely think, ideas and assumptions conglomerate to create the perception of unsafe environments and circumstances. This is not only an untrained mind, but is more than likely a mind which does not fully understand that it tunes to what it thinks, as by simply imagining, thinking, believing, or assuming something, we are tuning our vibration to that occurrence. One experiencing the vibration of finding a threat will then project that filter over all they see. They begin to see every chance, unknown opportunity as a chance of getting bit by those poisonous snakes. They think anything could be, might be, or is a threat. This leads us directly into understanding that by their assumption of everything having chance of being a threat, they not only start to attract more of that, but also the mind begins to see itself as a threat. You see, the mind works on input, sensory input, vibrational input. If it perceives a vibrational disturbance, a threat, cortisol levels increase to alert us in order to notify us to make a change. In doing so, we avoid or eliminate the threat. In this case, though, we never avoid or eliminate the threat. We consciously begin to spot and identify everything as a threat, overloading our body in cortisol. This stress hormone overflows in our body and overwhelms the nervous system. This sends a bigger threat to our body, one soon identified as ourselves. Our brain sees we continuously keep thinking and in so create stress. Without conscious awareness to this, our brain does not accurately communicate this knowledge back to our main consciousness. This, once again, not allowing for the change of the threat to disappear. To disappear, our choice would have to change. To understand our thoughts, a quick debrief would be to understand why we are so focused on seeing everything as a threat. Then understanding, since we see it as a threat, we see it outside of ourselves, as separate. So to correct this misunderstanding in our brain, we would have to know we are all and choosing all. In so changing our thoughts and perspective to unity, harmony, and control, this allowing our mind to see love for ourselves and reflect it outwards and in. Ways of thinking would then reflect harmony and love that always is, and assumptions of health and abundant times would be focused on. That would be if we are conscious and understanding of our innate unity. Now, because this did not occur in one's brain, their lack of knowledge leads the brain to take matters into its own hands, or nerves. The nervous system begins to look for distractions to stop us from thinking, stop us from having the energy and focus, which results in more cortisol. This ensures our focus is directed towards things the brain sees as safe, for now, while assuring the prior assumptions and thoughts are not occupied. It's like a child making a loud noise in the living room to distract the parents from the mess they have hidden in their own room. We are looking at the brain's manipulative tactics to keep itself safe. It not only doesn't trust us to think thoughts which will positively impact and help us on our own, it also registers we do not trust the world we perceive. So by us not trusting the world, our information processor, brain, doesn't trust us. All from us not feeling safe nor understanding the world. One resulting in a mindless loop to keep one comfortable. Feel unsafe? Look for distraction. Feel safe distracted as focus diverts. Temporary safety. And as soon as your attention breaks and you have a moment to your own mind and thoughts, your mind begins to work against you, so to speak, as it is actually working for you. It is simply and unconditionally reflecting your own doubt, mistrust, and anxiety. It is your own sensory input. The moment you begin to think, it reflects, even if it is your own fear. Your mind throws scary things in your consciousness, be it in your face or like a lingering, creeping feeling. This is all created from our root problem, the real show of today. That is our lack of connection. From our inner lack of connection, we give our attention and consciousness away. That is our legitimate power. That is our choice. That is our reality bender. From not being connected to all of you, you don't see you are all of reality. You do not see the negative, destructive aspects, let alone the positives of yourself. It is all you, and it all comes from your own expression, a choice made by who you are and what you identify with. So where you give your attention and your focus very much matters. When you fail to see yourself and others, you see them as potential unknowns. They have chances to harm you now, be against you, work in ways you don't want or don't know. This includes when you see yourself as an outsider or something that you're not in control of. You let your mind run with this, focusing, amplifying those circumstances, especially if you have a history of identifying as one who experienced the traumas already. Instead, now you have ideas of threats, and destruction will only make that vibration stronger. And a stronger, more chaotic vibration creates more thoughts and actions and circumstances to unfold accordingly to it. The fearful, anxious, and worried thoughts, the uncomfortable feelings and stressing moments of being alone with yourself, straightly tied. It is all unconditionally your own focus, assumptions, and ideas. By thinking it's even a possibility, focuses on its vibration. You focusing on its vibration, it happening, you tune to it. You even by imagining it, joking about it, unattached, hearing it in passing, it's still tapping into that vibration. And the longer you focus on it, the stronger, more you tune to it. Then to think on top of it, someone has an attached identity to it, you're setting the entire table. It will be absolutely no surprise if you constantly feel anxious about one thing to begin to experience that vibration of anxiety spread out like a fungus, one spreading spores to every area of your life. And the more you allow those spores to get your attention, the more they grow and grow, spreading more and more. The only solution is an antifungal medicine, its counter, the opposite vibration. That is, being them. Since a threat is someone you are not in control of, you simply need to know you are all. You are in control of all, and all of you, and therefore, you choose anything for yourself. This, in tunes, allows you to directly choose the opposite, the life, the caretaking, the abundance, and the love, the safety and comfortability. Realize the distractions were your brain's way of creating a solution for you. Something you can focus on that is in your control. Now use that focus and see you've always been in control, and your control and your focus can now be on the attention of health, on harmonious circumstances, ones where you can imagine, experience, and sense the excitement, joy, and functioning harmony. One which reflects direct peace in your body because your mental and emotional body reflect your knowing. And because your hands understand where they've been and what they are doing, you are unified with what is. And it is all in perfect harmony then. It's a win-win for everything involved. You will always be in control if you are one. Now see that your mind and body have been calling to communicate with you. Take those matters into your own hands, your own mind. You may choose to resolve the unconscious and conscious loops which were entertained, ones which got you into this circumstance. Resolution, though, comes from the knowledge and understanding of it, the unity. To see the truth that you always had and always were, always chose, and you were once blinded, but now see. You can choose to believe and entertain the world is safe. You can assume and affirm this fact because it is you. And only you take good care of yourself. All of you. You know all of you takes wonderful care of you, and so the world takes loving care of you. It's all you. It's all for you. And you've always been there for yourself. Let that reflect in truth.